Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about creating community. So, what is community? What do we think about when we hear the word community? What comes to mind? Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Does it bring up some memories of experiences we've had in certain communities, whether they were favorable or unfavorable? When we think about community, do we have a certain idea of what type of people are within this community? Do we think about the type of people that we want to be in our community? Do we even want community? Do we think it's important to have it? Is it necessary? Do we believe that humans are wired for connection and community? These are some of the things we may have to ask ourselves when we are trying to consciously create a community that is meant for us, or select a community that is meant for us. Many of us have a certain set of beliefs, cultures, norms, likes, dislikes, values, and belief systems individually. And each of those affect the people that we're surrounded by. They affect us, they affect the way we show up in the world, they affect our lives, and they also do influence the type of communities that we're part of more often than not. For example, let's say I enjoy hiking or backpacking or camping, or I enjoy different types of outdoor activities. I enjoy nature and preserving it. I enjoy learning about conservation and environmental issues, and it's a big part of my life. If I operate in that way and those things are important to me, does it make sense for me to want to be spending a lot of time with somebody who doesn't hold those same values in that area? Now, when it comes to this, we have to also consider that there are many different factors associated with being a human being. For example, maybe I have a certain value or belief system or things that are important to me, and a friend of mine does not hold those values on that particular issue or that particular topic, but maybe they hold the same values as me in something else. So, for example, maybe somebody who I'm close to doesn't really value the environment or nature or spending time outdoors or anything like that, and they'd rather spend time playing basketball or watching football and doing all of that. But maybe we have similar values in something else. Maybe we both are interested in philosophy. We both are interested in learning about different types of topics. We are both interested in learning about different types of belief systems. We're both interested in having debates and arguments, friendly arguments, of course. So maybe we don't have the same exact interest in something, in everything, but maybe there are a few things that we do have similar interests in. So when we're thinking about the kind of community that we want to create or the kind of community that we want to join or be part of, we need to really get to know ourselves a little bit better. What is it that we like? What is it we don't like? What is it that we value? What is important for us? Do we have any types of goals or ways of life that we're trying to create for ourselves? Are we trying to have a certain way of being? Are we trying to improve a certain aspect of our life? For example, if somebody has a weight loss goal, does it make sense for them to spend time with somebody who is always going to be going to fast food restaurants? Does it make sense for them to spend time with people who are always going to be going to restaurants that aren't healthy for them or are more interested in sitting and watching TV during their free time? Or does it make more sense for them to be around people who are health conscious, who value the importance of knowing what they're putting into their body, who value nutrition, who value spending time exercising their body, moving their body, learning about the science behind weight loss, learning about different ways that they can achieve that goal. So whenever we are having certain goals that we're trying to achieve, sometimes we may find that the people we are naturally drawn to change. And we have to ask ourselves, is that a good or a bad thing? It's almost natural for most of us to be afraid of change, to be afraid of letting go of certain relationships, to be afraid of stepping into a new reality, a new way of being, a new way of showing up for ourselves. When we're so accustomed to operating a certain way, sometimes these habits, these belief systems, these ways of existing These things that we do don't go away overnight. So in the beginning, it may be a little bit difficult, but we have to ask ourselves, is it possibly worth it? Is it worth risking losing certain relationships that we feel are no longer serving us or might not be best for us moving forward? Is it okay to take the risk and try to build new relationships? Is it okay to say no? Is it okay to say, I don't want to go to that event because it doesn't align with my values? Is it okay to choose ourself? That's ultimately what it comes down to. When I'm trying to create community for myself, I do so with the intention of being around people who are like-minded, people who can also help me to grow, people who can support me, people who can provide feedback for me and help me to see my blind spots if needed. People who are on a similar path. We don't have to be identical. That's not the purpose of community. Some would argue that maybe we do want to be around people who are identical to us. And to that, we have to accept to each their own. But when building community, we have to really know, what is it that we want in our community? What is it that I like? What are the goals I'm trying to achieve? How am I trying to be? What am I trying to create for my life? What reality am I trying to select and step into? And when we have a better idea of that, we can more consciously choose who we spend our time with, where we go, the places we go, the people we spend our time with, the attention and energy we pour into these relationships. For example, if we're going through a particularly challenging time, this is when we need to really be conscious of the people we surround ourselves with and our community. For example, let's say you're going through a breakup. A relationship didn't work out the way you wanted it to. You're feeling disappointed, you may be feeling sad, you may be feeling lost or some sort of grief. You may not be feeling good about yourself, you may be questioning your decisions, you may be replaying the relationship in your mind, you may be ruminating a little bit, you just may not be feeling the greatest, and those are natural parts of a breakup and losing a relationship and experiencing any type of loss. In times like that, who are you going to turn to? Do you want to lean into a support system, or do you want to hold it all in on your own? Do you want a balance of the two? Some people feel that spending some time with their own and really pouring their energy and their attention into loving themselves and nurturing and tending to their needs is good for them when they are going through those times. And other people may need to be around their community, to be around their support system, to really lean into that. Some people don't want to spend time alone. And we have to ask ourselves, which one is healthier for me and why? Which one am I gravitating towards, or why? Do I need a mix of the two? Do I need one more than the other right now? We need to get in the habit of also regularly checking in with ourselves. What is it that I think I need right now? What do I think is in my best interest, in my highest good right now? And then we go towards that. When selecting our community, when selecting our support system, we also need to know, who am I going to go to for this particular problem? Am I going to take relationship advice from somebody who doesn't have experience with that, or somebody who does not have the quality of a relationship, a healthy and loving relationship that I want? Am I going to take relationship advice from somebody who is in a good relationship? A relationship that seems to be healthy, a relationship that seems to be something that I could respect. In the event of a breakup, in this example, am I going to go towards somebody who's just going to tell me to suck it up and deal with it? Am I going to go to somebody who is downplaying how I'm feeling about it? Am I going to go to somebody who has never experienced a breakup? Am I going to go to somebody who is just not giving helpful feedback or advice? Someone who doesn't know how to validate me? Someone who doesn't know how to support and encourage me? Someone who doesn't know how to be a friend to me? Or am I going to go to somebody who is going to be supportive? Am I going to go to somebody who is going to listen? Am I going to go to somebody who is going to hold that space for me to share how I'm feeling and to help me process that? Am I going to go to somebody who's going to give me a little bit of a pat on the back and a pep talk if I need it? Am I going to go to somebody who will provide feedback and ask those hard questions of what can you do differently? Was there any part that you played in the relationship not turning out the way you wanted it to? Is there anything that you did that might have been detrimental to the relationship? Is there anything that you need to be choosing differently? Did you actually choose a relationship that was meant for you? Did you actually choose a relationship that was aligned with you? Did you actually choose a relationship that was good for you and where you were going in life? Or did you look over some red flags? Did you not take into consideration what this person was? Did you not see the reality of this situation? When we have our support system and we have people who know us better, when we take the risk and the vulnerability of letting people in and letting people know us, they can support us through these times, and they can give us the support and the feedback and the resources we may need to navigate those life situations. So that's in the example of a breakup. What about in other areas of our life in general? Maybe we're just not feeling 100%. We had a bad day. Maybe something at work didn't go out the way we wanted to. Maybe we got into an argument with a family member, had a disagreement. Maybe we're struggling financially. Maybe we are not in the type of job that we want to be in. Maybe we are feeling stagnant in a goal that we're trying to reach. Anything that we go through in life that can make us not feel 100%. Anything that we could go through in life that makes us feel like we maybe aren't meeting what we want to meet, doing what we want to do, falling short. Things are going too slow. We as human beings have a tendency to want things quick and to want things a certain way. But when we have community, they can help us see things more clearly. They can help us give us that support and that feedback. They can help us to step out and be like, hey, have you ever thought about this perspective? Or maybe this is a different way of looking at it. Have you considered that? Maybe they may show up in ways of saying, are you just looking for a space to process how you're feeling, or are you looking for feedback? That's another thing. We need to know what we need too. Sometimes it may be helpful when we're in our relationships with people, when we're in our community, in our support system, to say, hey, right now, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through. I'm not looking for feedback in the moment, I just need a space to process. And we may have a person who's willing to do that and to create that space for us. Or we might be able to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. I'm not feeling so good. I'm open to feedback. Is that something you're open to providing? And then we may have some people we can reach out to for those types of things. Now with community too, we also have to consider what it gives us. In the example of addiction, any kind of addiction, whether it's drug addiction, alcoholism, whether it's sex addiction, love addiction, codependency type of issues, if you want to argue that that's part of addiction, there is debate among that, but I digress. Gambling addiction, food addiction, eating disorders, anything. Any kind of problem that we may have, anything that we may struggle with internally, anything that we look for outside to help us to feel better inside. When we're experiencing any of those issues, there is a lot of importance placed on community, on support, on fellowship, on friendships, on relationships. Many people say that the opposite of addiction is connection, and each of us should come to terms with understanding what that means for us. Many of us who are addicted or have been addicted at some point in our life to something may have experienced a disconnection in some way. A disconnection from ourself, a disconnection from the divine, a disconnection from other people, feeling a disconnection from a community, from the people they're surrounded by. maybe feeling ostracized at different points, maybe feeling like they don't have a sense of belonging, maybe feeling unwanted, anything. When we don't have a sense of belonging, a sense of community, people who we really feel seen, heard, valued by, people we trust, people we feel safe with, people we can be authentic and be ourselves with, when we don't have that, we are likely more inclined towards acting out on any type of addiction. Time and time again, people who have experienced any type of addiction issue will tell you that at different points in their lives or throughout a majority of their life, especially when they were in their addiction, they did not feel like they could relate to people. They did not feel like they belonged. They did not feel part of. They felt like they were different. They felt like they were not good enough. They had all sorts of limiting beliefs and inner dialogue that was not helpful to them, that was not good for them. And they were suffering and they were struggling. And they felt alone. And they isolated. And they felt shame. And that kept spiraling and going on and on and on and on and on. That's a very common experience among a lot of people who have addiction issues. And so for a lot of people who are moving out of addiction and are moving towards community and fellowship and support systems geared towards addressing those addiction issues, a lot of them emphasize the importance of having people, having a support system, having a fellowship. Many people say that the purpose of a fellowship is so that when we fall, it doesn't hurt so badly. Many people say to stay in the center of the herd, and we have to ask ourselves what that would look like for us and if that is helpful for us. What herd are we also choosing? Because even within these support systems, we may find that not everybody is going to be our people. Maybe we have a similar experience with addiction or with a particular struggle, but maybe we don't have similar experiences or wants or hopes and dreams and desires in other areas of our life, so how much is there to talk about? It depends. Everybody's different, and we have to ask ourselves what we need. We have to see where we stand with that. Think of a shield wall, though. Some of you may know what a shield wall is, some of you may not. In Viking combat, a shield wall is when a group of warriors form together and they have their shields and they cover each other. Each person puts their shield up in a certain way to create a barrier from the enemy from the outside from attacking them. It gives a source of protection. It gives a shield. It is literally a wall. And so how does this apply to community? How does this apply to fellowship? When we have things outside that are attacking us, when we have things outside that may feel are trying to get our attention, that isn't actually useful and isn't aligned with our values and isn't what we need to be spending our time on. When we have things from the outside that just aren't going right, maybe we're having an issue with somebody, maybe somebody is being harmful to us, maybe somebody is not helping us in some way, or maybe in general we are just dealing with some kind of life problem, whatever it is. Just think about it. The purpose of the shield wall is to keep you in, to contain you, to protect you, to help you to not be hurt as badly from that thing that's on the outside. The purpose of the shield wall is to protect you, to give you that support, to give you that barrier from anything that could hurt you. So when we apply this into our life, when we apply this into our community, when we apply this into our fellowship, we can ask, what is it that my people, my support system, my fellowship, my community, what is it that they're protecting me from? What is it that they are trying to support me from? What is it that they are trying to help me with, whatever it may be? And is this what is best for me? Is this actually what I need? So there are many things for us to consider when it comes to community. There are many things for us to look at. There are many things that we need to think about. And it is not uncommon for people to change communities, to transition into different communities, to transition into different groups at different points in their life, depending on where they are, what they want, what they're looking for, who they're becoming. As we grow, as we change, as we step into the people we are created to be, as we become more authentic, as we learn more about ourselves, as we grow, as we develop, it's natural for the people we surround ourselves with to change. So consider too, who is in your life right now? Are these people actually supportive of you? Are these people actually aligned with you and your values and the community that you want to create, if you want to create community? Are these people actually encouraging? Are these people actually doing the kind of work that you're doing on yourself or similar? Are these people actually interested in your well-being and has your best interest in mind? Are these people actually going to give you what you need? Are these people going to help you in different areas of your life, or at least one area of your life, whatever it may be? When we start to get really honest about this, we might find that there are some people who might need to go. There might be some people who we might have to significantly limit the amount of time we spend with them. We might find that there are some people who are no longer aligned with the kind of life we're trying to create and step into. We may find that certain people may be benefiting in some ways from an older version of ourselves. We may find that some people are not going to want to come into the new way of how we're going to be living. We may find that there are some people who are not going to be able to meet us where we're going to be going, and that's okay. It may be hard to let go of some of these people, or it may be easy. We may feel relieved. We might literally feel a sense of relief by letting go of certain people, not realizing how draining they might have been, not realizing how much of a misalignment there was in that relationship. That's something that I myself have experienced. When I was trying to work on a certain goal in my life, when I was trying to become different in a certain area of my life, there were some people who I very consciously chose to not respond to their messages or respond very minimally to their messages, not go to the same places that they would go to. I wouldn't talk to them, I would not reach out to them, and it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder for many reasons. Part of it was because I was no longer spending time with people who were misaligned with me, people who were actually not healthy for me to be around, people who didn't have the kind of life that I wanted, people who were always complaining, people who were always going in the same thing over and over and over again, but doing very little to change. And I had to be really honest with myself about why I was in those relationships to begin with. What was it about me? What was going on internally within me that was attracting that into my life? That was allowing that into my life? That was putting up with that and that was tolerating that? I had to start really asking myself, am I actually practicing love, patience, and tolerance and understanding? Or is there something else going on? Is there an unhealed part of me that needs to get really looked at? And when I had that space, it was a lot easier to see that clearly and to do the work and to introspect and to really heal that. And it is not a relationship that I regret losing, because it had served its purpose. It had taught me a lot of myself. It had taught me things that I needed to do differently, things that I needed to look at, things that I no longer want to do in my relationships moving forward, ways that I no longer want to show up. We have to also be willing to take a leap of faith. Some people are not going to be happy when we step into this new version of ourselves. And that does not mean that we are doing anything wrong necessarily. That means that they're losing out on something that they were getting from our relationship sometimes. Each situation is different. And this is one of the reasons why having a support system, having a good community is helpful, so that we can navigate these types of issues, that we can get perspectives where needed, that we can learn, we can grow, we can get the support. So think about where you're at today. Think honestly. What relationships in my life are going well and what seem to not be going well? What's in my control with them and what's not in my control with them? Is there anything that I need to do differently? Do I need to have a conversation? Or is this something that I need to leave? Is this something that I need to step away from, whether drastically or gradually? What is really going on? What is the inner dialogue going on when I think about this relationship, any aspect of it, any conversations we've had? What are the beliefs that I'm holding about it? Are these actually serving me? What beliefs do I hold about community? Do I think it's attainable for me to have the kind of community that I want? Do I think it's possible for me? Or does it seem too far out of reach? What is in my control to start choosing that community, or creating that community, or attracting that community? Where can I possibly meet people who are going to be like-minded? Or, if we don't know, maybe we can simply ask for divine help. Maybe we can ask our higher power, we can ask God, help me out with this. Universe, help me out with this. I want to create this community. I want to be part of a support system. I want to have people in my life who are like-minded, who are like me, who have similar interests, who I can have fun with, who I can have good talks with, who I can feel supported by. Think of all the qualities that you want in your community and ask the divine for help. God, lead me to the people who I'm meant to be with. Lead me to the people you have in store for me. Lead me to the people who are in my highest good. Help me to step into the person that I'm meant to become. Help me step into my higher self. Show me what that looks like. Show me what to do. Show me what to think. Show me what to wear. Show me what to dress. Show me what to eat. Show me how to exist. Show me how to show up. Show me what to say. Show me what to do. Give me all that I need to be able to do that. I'm all yours. I'm all yours, God. Take over. Do your thing. Help me to show up. Lead me to where I'm meant to be. Lead me to better. Really think about that. Think about your prayer life. How can you incorporate your prayer life into creating conscious community? How can you incorporate meditation or spiritual practices into creating your community? How can you incorporate your inner work, your healing, into creating conscious community? And really think about what that all looks like and what that all means for you. You may find that there's a lot more in your control than you may think. We may not be able to control what other people do. We may not be able to control what other people say and think. We may not make them want to do the things that we want to do. We may not be able to change people. You have to ask yourselves where you stand with those types of things. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Maybe we need to start practicing the art of letting go and detachment and trust and flowing in the river of life. Trusting that we'll be led to where we need to be. We'll learn what we need to learn. We'll get the things that we need. We'll create the things that we want. We'll step in to the new reality that we want for our lives. We'll select a new way of living. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, wherever you are in the world right now. If you found this video helpful, like, share, subscribe. Share with anybody who you think this might be helpful towards. Anybody who you think might be struggling with these types of issues.